You don't have a money problem. You don't have a luck problem. You don't have a time problem. You have an investment problem. Every day you are investing, whether you admit it or not. You are investing your time, your focus, your energy, and your habits. And if you are not intentionally investing in yourself, you are silently funding your own stagnation. This audiobook will show you one truth that never changes. The only investment that never fails is you. Listen carefully. What you do after this decides everything. Chapter 1. Stop waiting for permission. No one is coming. Let that land. No one is coming to approve your growth. No one is coming to validate your timing. No one is coming to tap you on the shoulder and say, "Now you're ready." That moment does not exist. And the longer you wait for it, the more you pay. Because waiting is not neutral. Waiting is not harmless. Waiting is not patience. Waiting is a decision. You may not call it that. You may dress it up as planning. You may disguise it as being responsible. But underneath all of that, it is still a choice. And every choice has a cost. That's the key. Most people believe their life is stuck because of circumstances, because of money, because of background, because of family, because of timing. But the real reason is simpler and more uncomfortable. They are waiting for permission. Permission to start. Permission to change. Permission to take themselves seriously. You don't need their permission. You never did. Look closely at how this shows up. I'll start working out when I have more time. I'll learn that skill when things settle down. I'll invest in myself once I'm more confident. I'll begin when I feel ready. Listen to those words. After. Those words sound harmless, but they quietly destroy years. Because the truth is brutal and simple. The time is never right. And readiness does not come before action. Readiness comes after action. That's the key. You don't become confident and then act. You act and confidence follows. You don't become disciplined and then start. You start and discipline is built. But the mind hates this order. The mind wants safety first, certainty first, guarantees first. And life does not work that way. So people wait. They wait for motivation. They wait for support. They wait for approval from parents, friends, partners, society. They wait for permission. And while they wait, something dangerous happens. Their identity begins to shrink. Every time you delay something you know you should do, your mind learns a lesson. It learns that your comfort matters more than your future. It learns that hesitation is acceptable. It learns that avoidance has no consequences. Until it does. That's the silent cost of waiting. You don't just lose time. You lose self-trust. You stop believing your own intentions. You stop taking your own goals seriously. You say you want more, but your actions say otherwise. And action is the only language the brain respects. That's the key. Let's talk about the lie of the right time. There are people who wait years to start exercising because they want the perfect schedule, the perfect gym, the perfect routine. Years. Meanwhile, their energy declines. Their confidence drops. Their body becomes heavier and slower. And then they say, "It's even harder now." Of course it is. Delay compounds difficulty. The same with learning skills. People wait to learn because they want clarity on their future first. But clarity does not precede movement. Movement creates clarity. You don't think your way into a better life. You move your way into one. You have a choice. You can keep waiting for conditions to align. Or you can become the person who acts despite conditions. And understand this. People who win do not have easier lives. They have faster decisions. They don't wait for permission from fear. They don't ask comfort if it's okay. They don't negotiate with hesitation. They move. Even when it's messy. even when it's uncomfortable, even when they feel unprepared, because preparation comes after commitment. That's the key. Waiting feels safe because it avoids risk, but it creates a bigger risk, the risk of regret. And regret is heavy. Regret sounds like this: I should have started earlier. I knew better. I wasted time. No one regrets starting too soon. They regret starting too late. Let's be clear. This is not about recklessness. It's not about rushing blindly. It's about understanding the difference between patience and procrastination. Patience is purposeful. Procrastination is avoidance dressed as logic. And your mind is very good at sounding logical when it wants to stay comfortable. That's why discipline matters. Because discipline doesn't ask for permission. Discipline doesn't wait for perfect feelings. Discipline acts on principle. It's not about fear. It's not about confidence. It's about discipline. Say that again. It's not about fear. It's not about confidence. It's about discipline. You don't need to feel brave to act. You need to act while feeling afraid. That's how courage is built. You have a choice. Right now, you can continue living in rehearsal mode. Thinking, planning, imagining, waiting. Or you can step into action mode. Doing small, uncomfortable, imperfect actions daily. And here's the truth most people avoid. Small action beats perfect intention every time. Waiting is a decision. Delay is a choice. Inaction is investment in failure. That phrase matters. Because every day you don't invest in yourself, you are still investing. Just in the wrong direction. You are investing in doubt. You are investing in weakness. You are investing in a smaller future. And investments compound. That's the key. The world does not reward potential. It rewards execution. No one cares what you meant to do. No one cares what you almost started. Results are the only resume. And results come from movement. So here is the practical shift you must make. Stop asking, am I ready? Start asking, what is the next small action? Stop waiting for confidence. Start building evidence. Stop negotiating with hesitation. Start setting non-negotiables. This is how discipline replaces weakness. Not with massive changes overnight, but with consistent action despite resistance. One workout even when you don't feel like it. 1 hour of learning even when you're tired. One decision that moves you forward instead of keeping you safe. You don't need their permission. You don't need approval from people who aren't living the life you want. You don't need validation from voices that profit from your hesitation. You need alignment between your words and your actions. Because every time your actions match your intentions, your self-respect grows. And self-respect changes behavior. That's the key. Understand this deeply. People who wait are not lazy. They are afraid of committing. Because commitment removes excuses. Once you start, you can no longer say, someday. Once you act, results, or lack of them, become visible. And visibility creates accountability. That's uncomfortable. So people stay hidden. They stay preparing. They stay thinking about it. But growth does not happen in hiding. Growth happens in exposure. You have a choice. You can protect your ego, or you can build your future. You cannot do both. And the moment you stop waiting for permission, something powerful happens. You reclaim authority over your life. You stop seeing yourself as someone who reacts. You become someone who decides. And decision is power. This chapter is not asking you to change everything today. It's asking you to stop delaying what you already know. You already know the habit you need to start. You already know the skill you've been avoiding. You already know the discipline you've been postponing. The problem was never information. The problem was hesitation. And hesitation ends now. Because once you understand that waiting is a decision, you stop pretending you're stuck. You realize you've been choosing comfort over progress. And once you see that, you can choose differently. That's the key. You don't need their permission. You need your commitment. You don't need perfect timing. You need consistent action. You don't need confidence first. You need discipline now. You've conquered hesitation. Now it's time to understand the true currency of your life. Chapter 2. Time is either building you or breaking you. Time is not on your side. That's not pessimism. That's truth. Time does not heal. Time does not reward effort. Time does not forgive delay. Time only multiplies what you do with it. That's the key. Most people treat time like a friend, like something that understands, like something that will work out if they wait long enough. It won't. Time is neutral, cold, unemotional. It doesn't care about your intentions. It doesn't care about your struggles. It doesn't care about your excuses. Time doesn't care. Time doesn't pause. Time only compounds. And compounding works both ways. If you invest your time into growth, discipline, and skills, time builds you. If you waste your time on avoidance, distraction, and comfort, time breaks you. You have a choice. Every single day, you are either using time deliberately, or time is using you. There is no third option. Let's destroy one of the most dangerous lies people believe. I still have time. That sentence has ruined more lives than failure ever did. Because I still have time creates delay. Delay creates comfort. Comfort creates decay. People say it casually. I'll start next month. I'll learn that later. I'm still young. I'll get serious when things slow down. And then years pass. Not dramatically. Quietly. Time doesn't announce itself. It just disappears. And one day people wake up older, weaker, and confused, wondering where their potential went. It didn't go anywhere. It expired. That's the key. Look at two people with the same year. Same 365 days. Same 24 hours each day. One person uses time to build skills. They read. They train. They practice. They fail and adjust. The other uses time to numb discomfort. They scroll. They complain. They wait. They distract themselves from responsibility. At the end of the year, the gap is massive. Not because one was smarter. Not because one was luckier. Because one understood compounding. Time magnifies habits. Good habits become strength. Bad habits become chains. And neutral habits don't exist. Everything you repeat is becoming something. That's the key. Most people don't fail suddenly. They fail gradually. They lose discipline slowly. They lower standards quietly. They trade growth for comfort daily. And time multiplies it. That's why this chapter matters. Because once you understand time, you stop negotiating with it. You stop saying later. You stop assuming tomorrow is guaranteed. You stop wasting your best hours. You have a choice. You can treat time casually, or you can treat it like the most valuable asset you own. Because it is. Money can be earned again. Opportunities can return. Relationships can be repaired. Time never comes back. That's not motivation. That's physics. And here's where discipline enters. It's not about motivation. It's not about mood. It's not about feeling inspired. It's not about time management. It's about self-management. That's the key. People say, I don't have time. What they really mean is, this isn't a priority. Because time is found where discipline exists. If something matters, you make time. If it doesn't, you make excuses. And excuses age poorly. The brain loves comfort. The brain loves efficiency. The brain loves habits that require minimal effort. So without discipline, your time defaults to the easiest option. Screens, entertainment, distraction, noise. And none of those build you. They consume you. Time doesn't care. You can spend years entertained and still be empty. You can be busy and still be stagnant. You can feel productive and still be avoiding growth. That's why being busy means nothing. Only direction matters. Ask yourself this clearly. Is your time creating momentum or maintaining mediocrity? Because time will happily do either. That's the key. Now let's talk about the illusion of catching up. People think they can waste time now and fix it later. I'll work harder next year. I'll get disciplined when I really need to. I'll make up for it eventually. But compounding doesn't reset. If you neglect your body for 10 years, you don't fix it in 1 month. If you ignore learning for years, you don't catch up in a weekend. If you waste your 20s, your 30s pay the bill. That's not punishment. That's math. Time multiplies what you feed it. So if you feed it excuses, you get compounded regret. If you feed it discipline, you get compounded freedom. You have a choice. This is where people feel pressure. And that's good. Pressure is clarity. Pressure reminds you that your life is happening now, not someday. And discipline is how you respond to pressure without breaking. Discipline is choosing long-term gain over short-term relief. It's not about being perfect. It's not about doing everything. It's about doing something consistently. Time rewards consistency brutally. 1 hour a day of focused effort beats 10 hours of random effort once a week. Because time compounds rhythm. That's the key. You don't need to overhaul your life today. You need to stop wasting your best hours. Mornings, evenings, the quiet windows where progress is made. Stop giving those hours to distraction. Start giving them to growth. Read when others scroll. Train when others relax. Learn when others complain. Not because you're better, because you understand time. You don't need their permission. You don't need approval to use your time well. You don't need validation to work quietly. You don't need applause to build your future. Most people will not understand your discipline. That's fine. They will understand your results later. That's the key. Let's get practical. What must you stop doing? Stop assuming you have plenty of time. Stop treating days as disposable. Stop ending days without progress. What must you start doing? Start tracking where your time actually goes. Start protecting one daily block for growth. Start acting as if today matters, because it does. And how does discipline replace weakness? By removing decision fatigue. When you decide in advance how your time is used, you don't argue with yourself. You act. Discipline simplifies life. It says, this hour is for building. This hour is non-negotiable. This action happens whether I feel like it or not. Weakness negotiates. Discipline executes. That's the key. Understand this deeply. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your daily time use. If your time is scattered, your life will be scattered. If your time is focused, your life will be focused. Time reveals priorities, not words, not intentions. So stop lying to yourself about what matters. Your calendar already tells the truth. You have a choice. You can let time drift, or you can direct it. You can let years slip by, or you can compound them. And once you truly grasp this, you stop asking for more time. You start demanding more discipline. Because discipline is how you tell time who's in charge. Time doesn't care. Time doesn't pause. Time only compounds. Make sure it's building you. You've learned how hesitation wastes your life. You've learned how time multiplies every habit you allow. Now it's time to understand what actually pays you back when motivation disappears. Chapter 3: Skills Pay You While Motivation Quits. Motivation is unreliable. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. Motivation shows up when conditions are perfect, when energy is high, when results come quickly, when praise is available, and then it disappears. Without warning, without apology. That's why motivation cannot be the foundation of your life. Because motivation quits. Skills do not. That's the key. Skills wake up when you wake up. Skills show up when motivation stays in bed. Skills perform even when you don't feel like it. Skills don't argue. Skills don't get tired. Skills show up. Most people build their lives on motivation. They wait to feel ready. They wait to feel confident. They wait to feel inspired. And when they don't feel it, they stop. That's why progress for them is inconsistent, unstable, short-lived. But people who win long-term understand something different. They don't chase motivation. They build skills. Because skills are permanent assets. Once you earn them, they stay with you. Once you build them, they compound. Once you own them, no one can take them away. You have a choice. You can depend on how you feel today. Or you can depend on what you've built. That's the key. Let's talk psychology. The brain loves novelty. Motivation is novelty-driven. It spikes at the beginning of something new. New goals. New routines. New ideas. But the brain hates repetition. And repetition is where results are created. So motivation fades right when discipline is required. That's not weakness. That's biology. Which means if you rely on motivation, you are designing a system that will fail. Smart people don't fight human nature. They build systems that work with it. And the system is skills. Skills operate even when emotion collapses. Think about it. A trained athlete doesn't need motivation to move correctly. A skilled communicator doesn't need motivation to articulate clearly. A disciplined professional doesn't need motivation to execute daily. Their skill carries them. That's the key. Now let's expose a dangerous misunderstanding. People think skills are talent. They think skills are genetic. They think skills are reserved for naturally gifted people. Wrong. Skills are earned. Skills are trained. Skills are installed through repetition. And discipline is the installer. It's not about intelligence. It's not about luck. It's about discipline. Say it clearly. It's not about motivation. It's about discipline. Because discipline builds skills even when motivation disappears. Let's look at real-world examples. Communication. People think some are just good talkers. But they practiced. They failed publicly. They refined timing, tone, and clarity. Sales. People think good salespeople are pushy or charismatic. But they learned human behavior. They learned listening. They learned framing and patience. Fitness discipline. People think fit people are just motivated. But they built routines. They built habits. They built skills around consistency. Digital skills. Coding. Editing. Writing. Marketing. These skills pay quietly, consistently, and repeatedly. Motivation might start the process. But skills finish it. That's the key. Now let's confront behavior. Most people consume instead of create. They watch instead of practice. They learn information but never apply it. They feel productive but build nothing. Because consuming feels good. It feels like progress. But without application, it's entertainment. Skills are built by doing. Awkward doing. Imperfect doing. Uncomfortable doing. And that's why people avoid it. They don't want to look bad. They don't want to feel slow. They don't want to be beginners. So they stay motivated beginners forever. That's weakness disguised as patience. And discipline ends it. You have a choice. You can protect your ego, or you can build skill. You can look good today, or you can be capable tomorrow. You don't need their permission. You don't need approval to be bad at something new. You don't need validation to practice quietly. You don't need applause to improve daily. Skill building is lonely at first. That's normal, because most people quit before competence arrives. But those who stay earn something rare: confidence without noise, ability without hype, results without begging. That's the key. Let's get practical. What must you stop doing? Stop waiting to feel motivated. Stop starting and stopping based on mood. Stop chasing excitement instead of mastery. Motivation is emotional sugar. It spikes and crashes. Skills are nutrition. They sustain. What must you start doing? Start identifying one high-value skill. What? Not 10. Not everything. One skill that improves your income, health, or influence. Then train it daily. Even briefly. Even imperfectly. And how does discipline replace weakness? By removing the question, do I feel like it? Discipline says, this happens because I decided it does. That's the key. Skills are built through repetition under resistance. Resistance is the signal, not the stop sign. When you feel resistance, that's where skill is formed. Most people turn away there. Winners lean in. And understand this. Skills create leverage. With skills, you don't need motivation. With skills, you don't need constant reassurance. With skills, you don't need to beg for opportunities. Opportunities look for skilled people. That's how the world works. The marketplace does not pay effort. It pays usefulness. And skills make you useful. You have a choice. You can stay emotionally driven, or you can become skill-driven. Emotion fades. Skill compounds. One leads to burnout. The other leads to freedom. That's the key. Here's another truth. Skills create identity. When you repeatedly do something difficult, your self-image changes. You stop seeing yourself as someone who tries. You become someone who does. And identity drives behavior. Once you see yourself as disciplined, acting disciplined becomes natural. But it starts with skill building when it's uncomfortable. You don't wait to feel confident. You build competence. Confidence is a byproduct. That's the key. Most people underestimate how far skills can take them. Average intelligence with strong skills beats high intelligence with weak discipline every time. Because skills don't quit when life gets hard. Motivation does. Life will test you. Stress will rise. Energy will dip. And when it does, only what you've built remains. That's why this chapter matters. Because motivation is temporary fuel. Skills are permanent infrastructure. You don't rise because you feel good. You rise because you are capable. And capability is built quietly, daily, repeatedly. No hype. No drama. No waiting. Just work. You don't need their permission. You need consistency. You need discipline. You need to decide that skill building is non-negotiable. Because when motivation quits, and it will, your skills will still show up. Skills don't argue. Skills don't get tired. Skills show up. Let that anchor in. You've learned that hesitation wastes time. You've learned that time compounds everything. Now you understand what actually pays you back when emotion disappears. But skills don't grow in isolation. They grow or die based on what surrounds you. And that's what we confront next. Chapter 4. Your environment is investing in you or against you. Your environment is stronger than your intentions. That's not motivational talk. That's behavioral science. Every room you sit in, every screen you stare at, Every conversation you tolerate, all of it is shaping you. Silently, constantly, relentlessly. You are not as independent as you think. That's the key. Most people believe their success or failure comes from willpower. They think if they just try harder, everything will change. But willpower is weak, temporary, easily exhausted. Environment beats willpower, boys. Every time. If your environment is wrong, discipline has to fight nonstop. If your environment is right, discipline becomes easier. You have a choice. You can keep blaming yourself for lacking motivation, or you can change what's influencing you all day long. Let's get honest. Look at your surroundings. What's within arm's reach? Your phone? Your bed? Your television? Or your books? Your workspace? Your training tools? Environment is not neutral. It either pulls you forward or drags you backward. That's the key. Your brain is highly responsive to cues. If junk food is visible, you eat more. If your phone is nearby, you check it more. If lazy people surround you, standards drop. This is not weakness. This is how humans work. So stop shaming yourself. Start engineering your life. You don't need their permission. You don't need approval to rearrange your space. You don't need validation to remove distractions. You don't need agreement to protect your focus. The strongest people don't rely on willpower. They rely on design. They remove friction from good habits. They add friction to bad ones. That's discipline in action. Let's talk about screens. Your phone is not just a device. It's an environment. Every scroll trains your attention. Every notification interrupts thought. Every app rewires your reward system. People say, I lack focus. But you've trained distraction. You don't lose focus by accident. You practice losing it. That's the key. Endless scrolling teaches the brain to crave novelty. Short clips train impatience. Constant stimulation kills depth. And then people wonder why they can't sit still. Why they can't concentrate. Why they can't commit. It's not about intelligence. It's not about talent. It's not about focus. It's about discipline. And discipline starts with environment. If your environment feeds distraction, your discipline is constantly under attack. You have a choice. You can let algorithms shape your mind, or you can take control. Now look at conversations. Every conversation has direction. Some conversations elevate, some drain, some normalize weakness. If you constantly hear complaints, you begin to complain. If you constantly hear excuses, you begin to excuse. If mediocrity is normal in your circle, ambition feels uncomfortable. That's how environment works. Quietly. That's the key. This doesn't mean you cut everyone off dramatically. It means you become selective. You choose exposure carefully. You limit time with people who reinforce excuses. You increase time with people who reinforce standards. Even if that means more time alone. Especially then. Solitude with growth beats company with stagnation. You don't need their permission. Let's talk about physical space. Cluttered space creates cluttered thinking. Noisy space creates restless thinking. Lazy space invites lazy behavior. If your room is designed for comfort only, you will choose comfort. If your space is designed for growth, you will move toward growth. This is not magic. It's cues. The brain responds to what it sees. That's why environment beats willpower, boys. Every time. Now let's talk about the biggest lie. I can stay disciplined anywhere. No, you can't. No one can. Even elite performers control their environment. Athletes train where distractions are minimized. Writers isolate themselves. High performers guard their mornings. They don't test themselves unnecessarily. They design for success. That's discipline. Weakness puts itself in bad environments, and hopes willpower saves it. Discipline removes temptation in advance. That's the key. So what must you stop doing? Stop blaming yourself for losing battles you designed to lose. Stop exposing yourself to constant distraction and expecting focus. Stop staying in environments that reward the behavior you're trying to escape. And what must you start doing? Start auditing your surroundings. Ask simple questions. Does this room support who I want to become? Does this screen help or hurt my focus? Does this conversation raise or lower standards? The next, remove one distraction. Add one tool for growth. Change one daily environment. Small changes compound, just like habits. That's the key. Now let's talk discipline. Discipline is not forcing yourself to resist temptation all day. Discipline is reducing temptation, so resistance is rarely needed. You don't keep junk food nearby and test your willpower. You remove it. You don't keep endless apps and hope for focus. You limit them. You don't surround yourself with negativity and expect confidence. You change exposure. That's discipline. It's strategic. It's calm. It's intelligent. You have a choice. You can keep trying harder in the same environment, or you can change the environment and make winning easier. And easier doesn't mean weak. It means efficient. High performers are not masochists. They are engineers. They build systems that pull them forward automatically. Environment is one of those systems. That's the key. Now here's something uncomfortable. Sometimes your environment is people who benefit from you staying the same. They may not say it directly, but their reactions reveal it. When you try to grow, they joke, they doubt, they distract. Not always maliciously, sometimes unconsciously, but impact matters more than intent. And discipline means choosing your future over familiar approval. You don't need their permission. You need alignment. If your environment keeps pulling you backward, it doesn't matter how motivated you feel. Eventually you'll break. So stop fighting upstream. Change the river. That's the key. Let's lock this in. Your environment is always investing in you, either into growth or into decay. There is no neutral. Every scroll trains you. Every room programs you. Every conversation conditions you. Once you see this, you stop feeling confused. You stop asking, "What's wrong with me?" And you start asking, "What's around me?" That question changes everything. Because when environment supports discipline, discipline becomes sustainable. And sustainability beats intensity. Every time. You've learned that skills outlast motivation. Now you understand why skills either grow or die, based on what surrounds you. Next, we confront the addiction that destroys discipline silently, the one everyone protects. Chapter 5. Comfort is the most expensive addiction. Comfort is not harmless. It feels safe. It feels deserved. It feels reasonable. And it slowly ruins lives. Not loudly. Not dramatically. Quietly. That's the danger. Comfort drains ambition without making noise. That's the key. Most people don't fail because they suffer too much. They fail because they avoid suffering completely. They choose what's easy, what's familiar, what feels good right now. And comfort rewards them immediately. A softer schedule, a skipped workout, a delayed decision, a distraction instead of effort. No alarms, no consequences at first. But comfort always sends the bill later. With interest. Comfort costs more than pain because it charges interest. Let that settle. Pain is upfront, temporary. Comfort is delayed, hidden, Compounding. That's why people choose it. The brain loves comfort because comfort reduces threat, reduces effort, reduces uncertainty. From a survival perspective, comfort makes sense. From a growth perspective, it's poison. That's the key. Your brain is wired to conserve energy, to seek pleasure, to avoid discomfort, which means if you don't override this wiring with discipline, comfort becomes your default, and defaults decide lives. You have a choice. You can live intentionally, or you can live by default. Most people live by default. They don't actively choose stagnation. They drift into it. They don't decide to lower standards. They relax them. They don't choose weakness. They choose comfort. And comfort slowly replaces capability. That's the cost. Look at how this shows up. People stay in jobs they hate because it's stable. They stay in bodies they don't respect because exercise is hard. They stay at the same level for years because growth feels uncomfortable. They say, "I'm okay," and okay becomes a cage. Because okay kills urgency. Okay numbs ambition. Okay keeps you from becoming capable. That's the key. Comfort convinces you that survival is success. It lowers the bar until effort feels unnecessary. And once effort feels unnecessary, discipline dies. But here's the truth most people avoid. Discomfort is not the enemy. Stagnation is. Discomfort is the price of growth. Stagnation is the price of avoidance. And one leads somewhere. The other leads nowhere. You have a choice. You can feel discomfort now and earn freedom later. Or you can feel comfort now and pay for it later. Because payment is guaranteed. Just delayed. Comfort costs more than pain, because it charges interest. Let's talk psychology. Comfort feeds short-term dopamine. Quick hits. Immediate relief. But ambition feeds long-term meaning. Delayed reward. Lasting fulfillment. The brain struggles to choose long-term rewards, unless discipline intervenes. That's why motivation alone is not enough. Motivation feels good when you imagine change. Comfort feels good when you avoid it. Discipline is what chooses progress, even when neither option feels good. That's the key. Discipline doesn't ask, "What's comfortable?" It asks, "What's necessary?" Comfort asks, "How can I avoid this?" And the more you avoid discomfort, the more fragile you become. Your tolerance drops. Your resilience weakens. Your confidence erodes. Because confidence comes from evidence. Evidence comes from doing hard things. Comfort removes the evidence. That's why people feel insecure, even when their lives look easy. They haven't proven anything to themselves. So they protect comfort fiercely. And that protection becomes a prison. You don't need their permission. You don't need permission to be uncomfortable. You don't need approval to choose hard things. You don't need validation to raise your standards. Let's get real. Growth always feels awkward at first. Training hurts before it strengthens. Learning feels slow before it clicks. If you run from that phase, you run from growth itself. And comfort helps you justify it. It's been a long day. I deserve a break. I'll do it tomorrow. Occasionally, rest is necessary. Chronic comfort is destructive. That's the distinction. It's not about rest. It's about avoidance. Say it clearly. It's not about rest, it's about discipline. Discipline knows when to rest and when to push. Comfort never pushes. Comfort negotiates everything down. Lower effort, lower expectations, lower identity. And identity matters. Because who you believe you are dictates what you tolerate. If you see yourself as someone who avoids discomfort, you will avoid it automatically. But identity can be trained. through repeated exposure to discomfort, without retreat. That's how discipline replaces weakness. You have a choice. You can let comfort decide your actions, or you can decide that discomfort is part of the process. Let's talk practical. What must you stop doing? Stop choosing ease when effort is required. Stop rationalizing avoidance as self-care. Stop protecting comfort at the cost of capability. Self-care that avoids growth is self-sabotage. What must you start doing? Start scheduling discomfort. Scheduling it. Training when you don't feel like it. Working when it's inconvenient. Learning when it's frustrating. Not endlessly. Not recklessly. But consistently. Because consistency builds tolerance. Tolerance builds strength. Strength builds confidence. That's the key. Now here's the shift. Discomfort does not need to be extreme to be effective. It needs to be regular. One hard conversation. One focused hour. One disciplined choice per day. Comfort dies from 1,000 small acts of courage, not from one dramatic leap. And courage is not the absence of fear. It's action despite it. Discipline is courage in habit form. That's the key. Let's expose another lie. Life should be easier by now. But life gets easier when you get stronger. Comfort tries to make life easier without making you stronger. And that never works. Strength first, ease later. Boys, look at people who appear lucky. They're not lucky. They're capable. Capability makes life smoother. Comfort makes life fragile. That's the trade. You have a choice. You can be comfortable and fragile, or uncomfortable and capable. One feels better today. The other pays forever. Comfort costs more than pain because it charges interest. Interest shows up as regret, as missed opportunities, as quiet dissatisfaction. People say, "I don't know why I'm unhappy." They're not unhappy. They're under-challenged. Humans need challenge to feel alive. Comfort removes challenge. So people chase stimulation instead. More entertainment. More distraction. More noise. None of it satisfies. Because fulfillment comes from progress. Progress requires discomfort. That's the key. Now let's lock this in. Discipline is choosing discomfort on purpose. For a purpose. Not to suffer, but to grow. Not to punish, but to build. You don't need to destroy your comfort completely. You need to stop letting it lead. Comfort should be a tool, not a ruler. Rest should support growth, not replace it. Once you decide that discomfort is acceptable, even necessary, your behavior changes. You stop negotiating. You stop delaying. You stop waiting for perfect conditions. You act. Because action builds momentum. Momentum kills comfort's grip. You don't need their permission. You need standards. And standards create discipline. Discipline creates strength. Strength creates freedom. That's the chain. And it starts by refusing to let comfort decide. You've learned how environment shapes you. Now you've exposed the addiction that keeps you small. Next, we address the resource that fuels everything you do. The one most people waste daily. You've chosen growth over comfort. Now it's time to protect your fuel. Chapter 6: Energy is the real currency. Most people think money is the currency of life. It isn't. Energy is. Energy decides how you think. Energy decides how you act. Energy decides what you tolerate. Energy decides what you build. Money follows energy. Always has. Always will. If you're tired, unfocused, foggy, irritated, and drained, it doesn't matter how good your ideas are. You won't execute. You won't persist. You won't finish. That's the truth most people don't want to hear. They want tactics. They want hacks. They want shortcuts. But you cannot out-hack low energy. You cannot outthink exhaustion. You cannot outmotivate a depleted body. That's the key. Your life expands or contracts based on your available energy. And right now, most people are bankrupt. Not financially. Energetically. They wake up tired, run on stimulants, crash in the afternoon, scroll at night, sleep poorly, repeat, day after day, year after year, and they wonder why nothing changes. You have a choice. You can keep treating energy like an afterthought, or you can start treating it like the most valuable asset you own. Because it is. Let's get something clear. Energy is not just physical. It's mental, emotional, spiritual. But physical energy is the foundation. If the body is weak, the mind lies. If the body is exhausted, discipline disappears. If the body is neglected, ambition becomes fantasy. It's not about genetics. It's not about age. It's not about luck. It's about discipline. Look at how most people live. They sleep when they're done scrolling. They eat whatever is convenient. They move only when required. They sit for hours. They breathe shallow. They live indoors. They avoid discomfort. Then they ask for confidence, focus, clarity. It doesn't work like that. Energy must be earned. Daily. Deliberately. Protect your energy. Invest your energy. Multiply your energy. Say it again. Protect your energy. Invest your energy. Multiply your energy. That's not a slogan. That's a system. Let's start with sleep. Sleep is not rest. Sleep is recovery. When you cut sleep, you don't gain time. You borrow it. With interest. Your brain becomes reactive. Your impulse control weakens. Your discipline drops. Your emotional regulation collapses. And you start making short-term decisions that sabotage long-term goals. That's the pattern. Staying up late feels productive. Until it destroys the next day. Then the next. Then the week. Then the year. You don't need their permission to sleep like a professional. Professionals protect their recovery. Amateurs brag about burnout. You have a choice. Set the non-negotiable sleep window. Same time. Every night. No exceptions for nonsense. Stop pretending you're the exception. You're not. Now nutrition. Food is not entertainment. Food is fuel. Every time you eat garbage, you don't just gain weight. You lose clarity. You lose focus. You lose emotional stability. Blood sugar spikes. Crashes. Cravings increase. Energy collapses. And you call it a bad day. It's a bad input. It's not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. Protein, water, whole foods, regular timing, simple, effective. Discipline is doing what works, not what feels good. Now movement. Your body was not designed to sit. It was designed to move under load. When you avoid physical effort, you don't conserve energy. You destroy it. Movement creates energy. Stillness drains it. That's biology. You don't need a fancy routine. You need consistency. Lift heavy things. Walk daily. Breathe deeply. Break a sweat. Not to look good. To function well. Because confidence is not a mindset. It's a physiological state. Strong body. Calm breath. Clear mind. That's the formula. Protect your energy. Invest your energy. Multiply your energy. Now let's talk about mental energy. Every notification costs you. Every open loop drains you. Every unnecessary conversation taxes you. Most people leak mental energy all day long. They react instead of decide. They respond instead of plan. They consume instead of create. And by evening, they're empty. That's not bad luck. That's poor boundaries. You don't need their permission to protect your focus. Turn off what doesn't matter. Limit inputs. Schedule thinking time. Work in blocks. Attention is energy. Where it goes, life follows. Now emotional energy. Complaining drains energy. Comparing drains energy. Resentment drains energy. Every time you replay the past, you lose power in the present. Let it go. Not because it was okay, but because carrying it is expensive. That's the key. Emotional discipline is choosing response over reaction. First, breathe. Decide. You have a choice. Now let's talk about the lie. The lie is that success requires burnout. It doesn't. Success requires sustainable intensity, short bursts, deep focus, proper recovery. Burnout is not a badge of honor. It's a sign of poor management. High performers are not chaotic. They are controlled. They don't waste energy. They allocate it. They say no easily. They leave early. They train regularly. They sleep deeply. And because of that, they win quietly. Money follows that. Opportunities follow that. Clarity follows that. Energy first. Everything else second. Stop chasing motivation. Start building capacity. Stop asking how to do more. Start asking how to waste less. That's the shift. Tonight, you can choose differently. Go to bed earlier. Eat cleaner tomorrow. Move your body. Turn off distractions. Protect your focus. Small actions. Compounded daily. That's how energy multiplies. And when your energy rises, something interesting happens. You tolerate less nonsense. You think clearer. You act faster. You hesitate less. You stop negotiating with weakness. Because weakness thrives in exhaustion. It's not about laziness. It's about depleted systems. Fix the system. Discipline follows. Protect your energy. Invest your energy. Multiply your energy. Say it one last time. Protect your energy. Invest your energy. Multiply your energy. Because energy is the real currency. And once you control it, you control your life. You've learned that money follows energy, not the other way around. You've learned that discipline begins in the body and extends into the mind. You've learned that protecting your energy is an act of self-respect. Now it's time to remove the noise that drains it. Chapter 7. What you consume is what you become. You don't become what you want. You become what you consume. That's not philosophy. That's psychology. Your mind digests information the same way your body digests food. Input determines output. Boys. Garbage in. Garbage stays. Garbage grows. Say it again. Garbage in. Garbage stays. Garbage grows. Every image you watch. Every word you hear. Every story you replay. It all goes somewhere. Nothing is neutral. And most people are mentally obese, not because they lack intelligence, but because they never control their intake. They eat junk with their eyes. They snack on nonsense with their ears. They binge drama with their attention. Then they wonder why their thinking is slow, negative, reactive, and weak. You have a choice. You can keep consuming whatever is loudest. Or you can start consuming what makes you stronger. That's the key. Let's talk about how the brain actually works. Your brain does not argue with repetition. It absorbs it. Whatever you expose it to consistently becomes familiar. Whatever becomes familiar feels normal. Whatever feels normal becomes acceptable. That's how standards fall. That's how discipline erodes. Not in one big decision, but through thousands of small inputs. News designed to provoke fear. Content designed to trigger outrage. Entertainment designed to reward laziness. Conversations designed to normalize mediocrity. Garbage in. Garbage stays. Garbage grows. Your brain is a prediction machine. It builds expectations based on patterns. If all you feed it is negativity, it predicts danger everywhere. If all you feed it is comfort, it predicts avoidance. If all you feed it is distraction, it predicts restlessness. And then you call it your personality. It's not your personality. It's your diet. Mental diet. It's not about intelligence. It's about discipline. Look at your daily consumption. How much of it teaches you something useful? How much of it strengthens your thinking? How much of it prepares you for the life you say you want? Be honest. Most people consume content to escape, not to build. They scroll to avoid silence. They watch to avoid thinking. They listen to avoid facing themselves. That avoidance has a cost. Every hour spent consuming garbage is an hour stolen from clarity. And clarity is power. You don't need their permission to protect your mind. You don't need anyone's approval to change what you consume. You just need honesty. Let's break it down. First, stop consuming content that weakens you. This includes endless negative news, drama-driven social media, conversations that revolve around complaints, entertainment that glorifies stupidity, excess, or victimhood. Ask yourself one question. After this, am I better or worse? More focused or more distracted? More calm or more agitated? More capable or more passive? If the answer is worse, it goes. No debate. No justification. You have a choice. Second, start consuming content that builds you. Reading, focused learning, long-form thinking, skill development, physical training education, financial literacy, psychology, history. Not endlessly, intentionally. You don't need to consume more. You need to consume better. Quality over quantity. One strong idea, repeated and applied, beats 1,000 shallow ones. That's the key. Third, understand that consumption is not passive. What you watch when you're tired matters more than what you watch when you're alert. When your guard is down, your brain absorbs more. Late night scrolling, background noise, mindless videos. That's when standards slip. That's when beliefs sneak in. You say you're just relaxing. Your brain is being programmed. Garbage in, garbage stays, garbage grows. Now let's talk about language. The words you consume shape the words you use. The words you use shape the thoughts you think. The thoughts you think shape the actions you take. If you constantly hear language of excuses, blame, and weakness, you start speaking it. I can't. It's too hard. That's just how it is. That's not realism. That's conditioning. Change the input. The output follows. It's not about motivation. It's about discipline. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. You may need to outgrow people. Not because they're bad, but because they feed you mental junk. Constant gossip. Constant negativity. Constant distractions. You don't need to fight them. You don't need to explain yourself. You just need to reduce exposure. Environment includes people. What you listen to daily becomes your inner voice. Choose wisely. You have a choice. Now let's talk about silence. Silence is a form of consumption too. Or rather, the absence of consumption. Most people are terrified of it, because in silence you hear your own thoughts. And if your mental diet has been garbage, silence feels uncomfortable. That's not a reason to avoid it. That's a reason to clean the diet. Silence is where integration happens. It's where learning becomes understanding. It's where awareness sharpens. Schedule it. No phone. No noise. Just thinking. That's not empty time. That's training. Now let's get practical. Here are rules. Non-negotiable rules. 1. No consumption before creation. Do not start your day consuming. Start producing. Right? Plan. Earn your consumption. 2. Set hard limits. Time limits. App limits. Content limits. Discipline is deciding in advance. 3. Replace, don't just remove. If you remove garbage without replacement, you relapse. Swap mindless scrolling with reading. Swap noise with podcasts that teach. Swap gossip with solitude. 4. Repetition with intention. Listen to the same powerful ideas again and again. Because repetition builds identity. You don't rise to inspiration. You fall to your standards. And standards are built through repeated input. Garbage in. Garbage stays. Garbage grows. Strength in. Strength stays. Strength grows. You choose. This is not about being extreme. It's about being deliberate. Your mind is the control center of your life. What you feed it determines everything downstream. Your habits, your confidence, your decisions, your discipline. You don't need their permission to guard it. And once you control consumption, something shifts. Your thoughts slow down. Your focus sharpens. Your tolerance for nonsense drops. You become harder to manipulate, harder to distract, harder to derail. That's power. Most people never reach it because they never change what they consume. They wait for life to improve before they improve their inputs. It doesn't work that way. Change the input first. Results follow. That's the key. Tonight, make one decision. Cut one source of garbage. Add one source of strength. Do it again tomorrow. And the next day. This is not dramatic. It's cumulative. And over time, you become unrecognizable. Not because you tried harder, but because you fed your mind better. You've learned that your mind is shaped by what you consume. You've learned that garbage inputs produce weak outputs. You've learned that discipline begins with control over attention. Now it's time to control what leaves your mouth. Because words don't just express thought. They reinforce it. Chapter 8, Self-discipline is self-respect in action. Discipline is not punishment. It is proof. Proof that you believe in yourself enough to do what is required. Even when it's boring. Even when it's uncomfortable. Even when no one is watching. Self-discipline is self-respect in action. Not motivation. Not confidence. Not hype. Action. Most people say they respect themselves. Very few live like it. They talk about goals. They talk about potential. They talk about what they could become. Then they skip the work. That gap between words and action is not a lack of talent. It's a lack of discipline. And discipline is not something you're born with. It's something you practice. Every day. You don't rise to goals. You fall to habits. Say it again. You don't rise to goals. You fall to habits. That's the key. Your habits reveal your level of self-respect. If you respected yourself deeply, would you keep breaking promises to yourself? Would you keep delaying the work that builds your future? Would you keep choosing short-term comfort over long-term strength? Be honest. Discipline is choosing what matters over what feels good. And most people avoid it because they misunderstand it. They think discipline is harsh, rigid, restrictive. It's not. Discipline is freedom. When you are disciplined, you are no longer controlled by moods, by impulses, by excuses. You control yourself. That is power. You have a choice. You can let emotions decide your actions. Or you can let values decide your actions. One creates chaos. The other creates progress. Let's talk psychology. The brain seeks comfort by default. It avoids effort. It avoids uncertainty. It avoids pain. Discipline is not fighting the brain. It's training it. When you repeatedly do what you said you would do, your brain learns trust. Self-trust. And self-trust is confidence. Not the loud kind. The quiet kind. The kind that doesn't need validation. You don't need their permission to be disciplined. You don't need anyone to clap. You don't need to announce it. Real discipline is invisible. It's the workout no one sees. The study session no one applauds. The early morning no one thanks you for. That's why it works. Because it's not fueled by attention. It's fueled by identity. I am someone who does what needs to be done. That sentence changes everything. Most people wait to feel disciplined. That's backwards. You act disciplined first. The feeling follows. It's not about motivation. It's about discipline. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is structural. Motivation fades. Discipline remains. Let's get practical. Here's what discipline actually looks like in real life. It looks boring, repetitive, predictable. Same wake-up time, same routines, same standards, over and over. And that consistency compounds. People overestimate what they can do in a week and underestimate what discipline does in a year. That's the key. Now let's talk about what you must stop doing. Stop negotiating with yourself. Every time you argue about whether to do the work, you weaken authority. You teach your brain that commitments are optional. They're not. Decide once. Then execute. Stop waiting for the right mood. The right mood is a myth. Discipline works in bad moods, in tired states, in boring moments. That's why it works. Stop breaking small promises. If you say you'll do something simple and you don't, you train weakness. Make fewer promises. Keep all of them. Now what must you start doing? Start defining non-negotiables. Daily actions that happen no matter what. Training, learning, planning, building. Consistent. Done daily. Start tracking behavior, not outcomes. Outcomes lag. Behavior leads. You control behavior. That's power. Start finishing what you start. Completion builds identity. You don't become disciplined by trying harder. You become disciplined by finishing more. Now let's talk about boredom. Boredom is where discipline is forged. Anyone can act when it's exciting. Few act when it's dull. But dull days build strong lives. If you can show up on the boring days, you win. You don't need their permission to choose boredom over regret. Now here's the truth most people avoid. Discipline reveals priorities. If something never gets done, it's not important to you. No matter what you say. That's not judgment. That's clarity. And clarity is useful. It allows you to realign. You have a choice. Change the words. Or change the actions. Only one works. Discipline is also about standards. What you tolerate becomes your baseline. Messy environment. Late starts. Half effort. Those are standards. Raise them. Not perfectly, but intentionally. One area at a time. You don't need to fix your whole life today. You need to act with self-respect today. That's it. And self-respect is shown through action. Not affirmations. Not speeches. Not plans. Action. Now let's address resistance. There will be days you don't want to do it. But that's where discipline matters. That's where identity is reinforced. Every time you act despite resistance, you strengthen your internal authority. You become someone you trust. And once you trust yourself, you stop seeking validation. You don't need their permission. Now listen carefully. Discipline is not perfection. You will fail sometimes. That's not the problem. The problem is quitting after failure. Discipline is returning quickly. No drama. No shame. No spiral. Miss a day. Resume the next. That's discipline too. You don't rise to goals. You fall to habits. So build habits that pull you forward even when you slip. This is how real change happens. Not through intensity, through consistency. Now lock this in. Every disciplined action is a vote for the person you are becoming. Every undisciplined action is a vote against it. Votes compound. You decide daily who wins. You have a choice. Discipline is not about being hard on yourself. It's about being honest with yourself. It's saying, I deserve better than my excuses. That's self-respect. And self-respect changes everything. When you respect yourself, your behavior aligns. When behavior aligns, results follow. Not immediately, but inevitably. That's the key. You've learned that discipline is not punishment. It's proof of belief, proof of respect, proof of identity. Now it's time to understand what destroys discipline faster than anything else. Comfort disguised as entitlement. Chapter 9. Income follows identity. You don't earn what you want. You earn what you believe you deserve. That sentence makes people uncomfortable. But discomfort reveals truth. Income is not random. It's not luck. It's not the economy. Income is feedback. It reflects how you see yourself, what you tolerate, what you believe is possible for you. Income follows identity. That's the key. Most people try to increase income without upgrading identity. They chase tactics. They chase hacks. They chase motivation. It doesn't work for long, because identity always pulls income back to its comfort level. You have a choice. You can keep doing more of the same work for the same results. Or you can change who you believe you are allowed to be. Let's break this down. People undercharge because they see themselves as replaceable. They undersell because they don't fully believe in their value. They underperform because they don't expect more from themselves. That's not a skill problem. That's an identity problem. It's not about confidence. It's about discipline. Discipline to think differently. Discipline to act differently. Discipline to tolerate growth discomfort. Most people say, if I made more money, I'd feel more confident. Wrong. Confidence doesn't come from money. Money comes from confidence-backed behavior. Identity first. Income later. Look at patterns. Two people with the same skills. Same market. Same opportunities. One charges more. Asks clearly. Sets boundaries. The other hesitates. Discounts. Over-delivers without raising price. The difference is not talent. It's identity. One sees themselves as a professional. The other sees themselves as lucky to be here. And the market responds accordingly. Markets don't pay effort. They pay perceived value. And perceived value starts inside. That's the key. Let's talk psychology. Your brain is constantly trying to keep you consistent with your self-image. If you see yourself as a low earner, you will subconsciously sabotage high-earning behavior. You'll procrastinate. You'll avoid asking. You'll stay busy instead of effective. Not because you're lazy, because you're loyal to an old identity. You don't need their permission to outgrow that identity. But you do need discipline. Discipline to notice self-talk. Listen to how you speak about money. I'm not good at selling. People won't pay that. I don't want to seem greedy. Those are not facts. Those are beliefs. And beliefs shape behavior. Behavior shapes income. You have a choice. Now let's get practical. If income follows identity, then raising income requires identity upgrades. Not someday. Here's what you must stop doing. Stop playing small to be liked. Approval is expensive. It costs income. When you try to please everyone, you signal low value. High value people are clear, direct, boundaried. Stop apologizing for your price. Price is information, not a confession. Stop waiting to feel ready. Ready is a feeling. Professionals act without it. You don't need their permission to act professionally. Now here's what you must start doing. Start acting like the person who already earns more. Not in fantasy. In behavior. How would that person communicate? How would they structure their day? What would they tolerate? Then do that. Start setting standards. Standards for your time. Standards for your work. Standards for how people access you. Income rises when standards rise. That's the key. Start separating value from effort. More hours does not equal more income. Better leverage does. Ask yourself daily, what action today increases my value in the market? Skills. Visibility. Results. Those compound. Now let's address fear. Fear of asking. Fear of rejection. Fear of being judged. That fear is protecting an old identity. And it's costing you. You have a choice. Stay loyal to who you've been. Or commit to who you're becoming. Identity upgrades always feel uncomfortable. That's normal. You're stepping out of a familiar self-image. Your brain resists. Your emotions react. That doesn't mean you're wrong. It means you're growing. It's not about fearlessness. It's about discipline. Discipline to act despite fear. Discipline to hold higher standards even when it feels awkward. Now listen closely. Money responds to clarity. Clear offers. Clear communication. Clear confidence. If you're vague, income is vague. If you hesitate, income hesitates. If you undervalue, income reflects that. Income follows identity. Say it again. Income follows identity. Now here's a hard truth. If you secretly believe you're not worthy of more, you will find reasons to stay where you are. You'll blame timing. You'll blame the market. You'll blame other people. Blame protects identity. Responsibility upgrades it. That's the key. Take responsibility for your income ceiling. Not with shame. With ownership. Ownership creates power. Now let's talk about deserving. Deserving is not moral. It's behavioral. You don't deserve more because you want more. You deserve more when you become more valuable. Value is created through disciplined action over time. Learning. Practicing. Refining. No shortcuts. You don't need their permission to invest in your value. And when you do, income follows. Not immediately, but predictably. Most people quit too early. They act like a higher-earning version of themselves for a week. Then revert. Identity doesn't change in a week. It changes through repetition. Repeated actions. Repeated standards. Repeated choices. You have a choice. Act like the old version. Or rehearse the new one daily. Now let's anchor this. Income is not the goal. It's the scoreboard. The real work is identity. Who you believe you are. What you expect from yourself. What you tolerate. Change that, and income has no choice but to follow. That's the key. You've learned that income is not chased. It's attracted by identity. You've learned that under-earning is often self-image in disguise. Now it's time to confront the invisible force that keeps most identities small. The opinions of others. You've upgraded how you see yourself. Now you must protect it. Chapter 10. Short-term sacrifice creates long-term freedom. Freedom is not free. It is prepaid. You either pay now with discipline, or you pay later with regret. Short-term sacrifice creates long-term freedom. That's the truth most people don't want to hear. They want freedom without discomfort. results without effort, success without sacrifice. It doesn't exist. Every life is paid for. The only question is when. Sacrifice now, or pay forever. That's the key. Look around. Most people choose comfort today and constraints tomorrow. They relax now and struggle later. They avoid discomfort now and inherit limitations later. Not because they're stupid, because they're undisciplined. It's not about intelligence. It's about discipline. Discipline is choosing pain with purpose. You have a choice. Temporary discomfort now, or permanent stress later. Let's make this real. Two people, same age, same starting point. One uses evenings to build skills, weekends to learn, mornings to train. The other relaxes, scrolls, escapes. 5 years later, their lives don't look the same. One has options. The other has excuses. Time didn't change them. Choices did. Sacrifice now or pay forever. Say it again. Sacrifice now or pay forever. That repetition matters because the brain forgets consequences when comfort is nearby. Comfort is persuasive. Comfort whispers, just today. You deserve a break. Start tomorrow. Comfort never tells you the bill is coming. Discipline does. Now let's talk psychology. The human brain is wired to avoid pain and seek pleasure. That's survival. But growth requires overriding that wiring. Short-term sacrifice feels threatening to the brain. Long-term freedom feels abstract. So the brain chooses comfort, unless you train it. Discipline is training your brain to value the future more than the moment. That's the key. Most people don't fail because they can't work hard. They fail because they won't delay gratification. They want results before identity, rewards before effort. That's backwards. Freedom is earned in advance. You don't need their permission to live differently. You don't need society's approval to sacrifice. But you do need clarity. Clarity that every no today is a yes tomorrow. No to distractions. Yes to focus. No to comfort. Yes to capability. No to excuses. Yes to standards. Now let's get practical. Here's what you must stop doing. Stop treating sacrifice like punishment. Sacrifice is an investment of time, of energy, of focus. You don't resent investments. You expect returns. Change the frame. Stop copying people who optimize for comfort. Their lifestyle looks attractive short-term. It's expensive long-term. Stop telling yourself you'll balance it later. Later is not guaranteed. Action is. Now here's what you must start doing. Start scheduling discomfort. Put it on the calendar. Training, learning, building. If it's not scheduled, comfort will win. Start asking a simple question daily. What am I willing to sacrifice today for freedom tomorrow? That question sharpens behavior. Start building skills when others rest. Nights, weekends, early mornings. Not forever. Just long enough to change your trajectory. That's the key. People say, I don't want to burn out. Burnout doesn't come from effort. It comes from meaningless effort. Purposeful sacrifice energizes. Mindless comfort drains. Now let's address resistance. You will feel tired. You will feel behind. You will feel like you're missing out. But that feeling is the price of admission. Missing out on distractions buys access to freedom. You have a choice. Miss out now, or miss out later. Later costs more. Sacrifice now or pay forever. Now listen closely. Short-term sacrifice is temporary. Long-term consequences are not. 5 disciplined years can buy decades of options. But most people won't commit because 5 years feels long. It's not. It passes anyway. The question is how you use it. That's the key. Freedom looks like flexibility. Control. Those are built, not wished for. Built through early mornings, late nights, boring repetition, doing the work when no one is watching. It's not about motivation. It's about discipline. Motivation asks, do I feel like it? Discipline asks, is this required? Discipline always wins. Now let's reframe sacrifice one more time. Sacrifice is not losing something. It's trading something. Trading entertainment for skill. Trading ease for strength. Trading now for later. That's a smart trade. Most people make the opposite trade. They trade later for now. Later freedom. Later peace. Later confidence. All traded away for short-term comfort. That's a bad deal. And deep down you know it. You feel it when you delay. When you procrastinate. When you choose easy. That discomfort is awareness. Listen to it. You have a choice. Now let's talk about identity again. People who sacrifice short-term see themselves as builders. Builders think in decades, not days. They don't ask, what feels good today? They ask, what builds capacity? Capacity creates freedom. That's the key. Freedom is not escaping work. It's choosing your work. And that only comes after sacrifice. So here's the standard. Do what is hard now. So life can be easy later. Do what is easy now. And life will be hard later. There is no third option. You don't need their permission to choose the harder path. You need commitment. Commitment to a future you haven't met yet. But that future is watching. And every disciplined choice tells them, I didn't quit on you. That matters. Now lock this in. Short-term sacrifice is a decision. Long-term freedom is the reward. No shortcuts. No exceptions. Sacrifice now or pay forever. That's the key. You've learned that freedom is prepaid. That comfort is costly. That discipline buys options. Now it's time to confront the final illusion that keeps people stuck. The need to explain yourself. You've learned to sacrifice in silence. Next, you'll learn to grow in silence. Chapter 11. Consistency is the real superpower. There is nothing flashy about consistency. That's why most people ignore it. No adrenaline. No applause. No dramatic before and after moment. Just quiet repetition. And that quiet repetition beats everything else. Consistency is the real superpower. Not talent. Not intelligence. Not motivation. Consistency. Small actions. Repeated daily. Over time. That's the formula. Most people look for intensity. They want a breakthrough. They want a big moment that changes everything. But real change doesn't announce itself. It accumulates. Consistency compounds quietly, then loudly. That's the key. Let's start with a hard truth. Massive effort done rarely is useless. Moderate effort done daily is unstoppable. Anyone can work hard for a week. Few can work steadily for a year. That's why consistency wins. You have a choice. You can keep starting over, or you can keep showing up. Only one builds momentum. Look at real examples. 30 minutes a day. Every day. For a year. Reading. Training. Learning a skill. Building a project. That's over 180 hours a year. Now compare that to someone who waits for motivation. Works hard once in a while. Then disappears. Who do you think wins? Not because they're better, but because they stayed. Consistency doesn't care how you feel. It only cares if you showed up. That's the key. Psychologically, consistency rewires your identity. Every time you repeat an action, you send your brain a message. This is who I am. Not who I want to be. Not who I hope to become. Who I am. That's powerful. Your brain believes behavior faster than words. You can say you're disciplined, but if your actions are inconsistent, the brain ignores the words. Behavior is proof. Consistency creates self-trust, and self-trust creates confidence. Not loud confidence. Quiet confidence. The kind that doesn't need permission. You don't need their permission to be consistent. You don't need anyone to notice. Consistency works even when no one is watching. Especially then. Most people quit because they don't see results fast enough. They forget how compounding works. Results are delayed. Effort first. Evidence later. Consistency compounds quietly, then loudly. Say it again. Consistency compounds quietly, then loudly. That means for a long time, it feels like nothing is happening. That's where most people stop. They assume it's not working. It is. They just didn't stay long enough. You have a choice. Quit early like most people, or stay long enough to see the curve bend. That's the key. Let's talk about discipline again. Consistency is not about intensity. It's about reliability. Doing the thing even when it feels insignificant. Even when it feels boring. Even when progress is invisible. That's discipline. It's not about motivation. It's about discipline. Motivation asks, how do I feel today? Consistency asks, what's required today? And then it does it. No debate. Now let's talk about what you must stop doing. Stop restarting. Every restart resets momentum. You lose rhythm. You lose confidence. You lose belief. Stop trying to be perfect. Perfection kills consistency. Missed a day? Resume. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Stop making it complicated. Consistency thrives on simplicity. Simple routines. Clear actions. Low friction. Complex plans collapse under pressure. Now here's what you must start doing. Start defining a daily minimum. The smallest version of the habit you can do on your worst day. 10 push-ups. 1 page. 5 minutes. That minimum keeps the chain alive. And chains build identity. Start tracking streaks. Not for ego. For awareness. Seeing consistency builds consistency. Start protecting consistency more than results. Results come later. Consistency comes first. That's the key. Now let's address boredom. Boredom is a test. Can you act without novelty? Can you repeat without reward? Most can't. That's why consistency is rare. And because it's rare, it's powerful. You don't need their permission to be boring. Boring is underrated. Boring builds excellence. Excitement fades. Consistency remains. Now listen carefully. Consistency beats motivation because motivation is emotional. Consistency is structural. Structure survives moods. If your progress depends on how you feel, it will collapse. If it depends on a system, it will survive. That's discipline. It's not about willpower. It's about design. Design your days to support consistency. Same time. Same place. Same trigger. Reduce decisions. Decisions drain energy. Consistency conserves it. That's the key. Now let's talk about self-respect again. Consistency is self-respect over time. It's keeping promises to yourself repeatedly. That builds authority. When you trust yourself, you stop seeking validation. You don't need their permission. You act because you said you would. That's power. Most people underestimate how much consistency changes their life. They think they need a new strategy. They don't. They need the same strategy done longer. Consistency turns average actions into exceptional outcomes. Not fast, but inevitable. That's the key. You have a choice. Chase excitement or build momentum. Momentum is invisible at first, then unstoppable. Now let's lock this in with a final truth. Consistency is not sexy, but inconsistency is expensive. Inconsistency costs progress, confidence, identity. Consistency pays interest, daily interest, and over time, that interest compounds. Consistency compounds quietly, then loudly. That's not a slogan. That's how life works. You've learned that consistency is the real superpower. That small actions done daily beat big actions done rarely. That discipline is shown through repetition. Now there's only one thing left. Integration. Turning everything you've learned into a way of life. You've built discipline, identity, consistency. Now it's time to lock it all together. To invest in yourself completely. To become someone who doesn't stop. You've learned how to build momentum. Now it's time to finish strong. Chapter 12, Become the Asset. This is it. The moment where all your effort, all your sacrifice, all your consistency comes together. Becoming the asset is the final step. It is the culmination of every choice you've made in this book. Every decision to act when others hesitated. Every sacrifice you took while others rested. Every skill you honed while others scrolled. This is where you stop chasing opportunities and start attracting them. Opportunities don't chase the average. They don't knock on the door of the hesitant. They don't appear for those who wait for permission. Opportunities chase value. They chase results. They chase reliability. They chase people who deliver, no matter what. You have a choice. You can remain replaceable, or you can become irreplaceable. That's the key. Let me make it clear. Becoming the asset is not about luck. It's not about connections alone. It's not about timing. It's about you. Discipline, consistency, energy, identity. All the principles we've discussed, applied relentlessly, turn you into someone the world cannot ignore. Think about the most valuable people in any organization, any team, any industry. They are always busy, always in demand, always solving problems. They are never unemployed for long. They are never irrelevant, because they are not defined by circumstance, they are defined by value. You see, when you invest in yourself, you stop gambling on opportunities. You stop hoping someone notices you. You stop waiting for luck to strike. Instead, the world comes to you. Be valuable. Stay useful. Become undeniable. Repeat that. Say it slowly. Be valuable. Stay useful. Become undeniable. Let's break this down. Step 1. Be valuable. Value is skill, expertise, and mastery. It's what you can do that others cannot. It's the tangible result you deliver consistently. Stop being a spectator. Stop watching others succeed and wondering why it's not you. Start creating results. Even small results. Every day. Value compounds. Every book you read. Every skill you learn. Every action you take with purpose. Consistency builds value. Discipline maintains it. Sacrifice accelerates it. You have a choice. To sit idle or to become valuable. That's the key. Step 2. Stay useful. Being valuable is not enough if your skills stagnate. If you stop learning, stop adapting, you become obsolete. Industries change. People change. Opportunities evolve. The useful asset grows with the world. They anticipate needs. They solve problems before they become urgent. They remain relevant when trends shift. Being useful means keeping your energy high, your mind sharp, your skills fresh, your habits aligned with progress. You don't need their permission to stay useful. You only need commitment to yourself. Stop ignoring growth. Stop letting boredom dictate your learning. Stop waiting for inspiration. Start moving. Start building. Start adapting. Stay useful. That is how you remain in demand. Step 3. Become undeniable. Undeniable is the combination of value and utility multiplied by consistency. Undeniable is reputation. It's the silent authority that precedes your name. It's when doors open before you knock. You are undeniable when people know you deliver. When you show up, prepared, every time. When you solve problems, create opportunities, and add value quietly, relentlessly, daily. Undeniable is built in private. Not for applause. Not for likes or validation. It is built because you respect yourself enough to show up for your future. You have a choice. Remain replaceable, or become undeniable. That's the key. Now, let's connect all of this. Being the asset is not about external approval. It's about internal mastery. It's about becoming someone who commands respect without asking. Someone whose presence alone creates options. Someone whose skill, discipline, and reliability make them indispensable. The world rewards that. Consistently. Relentlessly. Think of the skilled coder whose expertise gets them multiple offers. The disciplined athlete whose commitment ensures a career that spans decades. The entrepreneur whose relentless learning allows them to pivot and dominate any market. None of them waited for permission. None of them relied on luck. They invested in themselves. And the world noticed. That's the lesson. Now let's reinforce the repetition that cements it in your mind. Be valuable. Stay useful. Become undeniable. Say it again. Be valuable. Stay useful. Become undeniable. Stop being distracted by trends. Stop seeking short-term recognition. Stop worrying about approval. Your task is to invest in yourself relentlessly. Your skills, your habits, your energy, your discipline, your identity. The person you become is the asset. And the asset is always in demand. Now here's a practical framework to apply immediately. Audit your skills. What can you do that others cannot? Where are you replaceable? Focus on upgrading the gaps. Commit to daily growth. Small actions repeated daily compound into skill, knowledge, and capability. Consistency beats occasional bursts every time. Protect your energy and focus. Your value diminishes when you are scattered, tired, or reactive. Be intentional about where you invest your mental, physical, and emotional energy. Solve problems before being asked. Be proactive. Anticipate needs. Deliver results without waiting for orders. Stay humble but relentless. Never stop learning. Never stop adapting. Never stop becoming more valuable. This is how you become the asset. This is how you attract opportunities instead of chasing them. Every choice you've made in this book leads to this point. Your discipline, your consistency, your willingness to sacrifice. They are the foundations of your value. The world rewards those who become assets. Not mediocrity. Not excuses. Not temporary effort. Assets are noticed. Assets are sought. Assets create freedom. And freedom is the ultimate payoff. So remember this final mantra, the one you must repeat until it becomes part of you. Be valuable. Stay useful. Become undeniable. That is the difference between living reactively and living proactively. Between being replaceable and being indispensable. Between chasing opportunities and letting them chase you. You have a choice. Every day, every decision, every habit is an opportunity to invest in yourself. That's the key. Be valuable. Stay useful. Become undeniable. And when you live by that principle, the world bends to your preparation. Doors open. Opportunities arrive. Life rewards your relentless investment in yourself. Now, close this chapter with clarity. You've conquered hesitation. You've learned discipline. You've embraced consistency. You've sacrificed comfort. And now, you are ready to become the ultimate asset. This is the path. This is the method. This is the standard. Be valuable. Stay useful. Become undeniable. You don't need their permission. You don't need their approval. You only need your commitment. That is how you control your future. That is how you ensure freedom. That is how you invest in yourself forever. You are the asset. Invest wisely. Everything you want is on the other side of investment. Not luck. Not hope. Not waiting. You now understand the truth most people avoid. The safest place to put your time, money, and effort is into yourself. Skills can't be taken from you. Discipline can't be stolen. Identity can't be outsourced. So here is your challenge. Starting today, invest 1 hour a day in becoming stronger, smarter, and more capable. No excuses. No delays. No negotiations. Because when you finally bet on yourself, you stop losing. Decide now and act.